Thank you very much, Dr. Daru. Let me just recognize, although not here, but will be here with us later, the Honorable Prime Minister, my other cabinet colleagues, other candidates on the platform with me. A special good night to them all. And most of all, a special good night to everyone gathered here, the Labour family, and also those from the Value of Transverse all over the place with us, regardless if we don't have an election tomorrow in the Roseau Valley, but nonetheless, they have seen the importance of following the campaign and supporting the campaign. So let me say a special thank you to them. But it's my pleasure to be here, and it's a really big day for us tomorrow. And tomorrow, it's as simple as having to make a decision and having to make a choice. We have to choose, and we have to choose who is the better team tomorrow. But on one hand, you have the Dominica Labour Party, a party that is well structured, a party that is organized, a party that makes time and is accessible to its constituents, a party that listens to the people, so we know the people, we feel the people, we have an idea of what the people want, and then we plan and we put policies in place to help the people. This is a party that addresses the major issues facing the world today. This is a party that has put climate change and making Dominica the first climate resilient country in the world first. This is a party that addresses clean energy. This is a party that addresses tourism. You can see the developments in tourism and our hotels. This is a party that addresses the housing situation. This is a party that addresses the educational needs of our people. And the list can go on and on. Our social welfare programs and our employment programs with the NEP, our small business unit, and so many different plans and policies that this party has put in place to uplift you, the Dominicans, and to empower us as a people. On the contrary, we have the opposition. We have the other side. And what the other side engages in more often than not is basically criticism. They engage in a lot of criticism which we don't have time for. As for their plans, when you ask about plans for housing, for education, for health, absolutely no discussion on those things, because they have absolutely no plans for those things. So here you are. You have the Dominica Labour Party, a well-structured, organized party that is addressing your needs as Dominicans, as opposed to an opposition party that is criticizing and constantly talking about personalities and people. Us in the Labour Party, we don't have this discussion about personalities. They are fixed on the Honorable Roosevelt's spirit, all about personalities and incidents. Us in the Labour Party, we are at a higher level. We discuss ideas. If they want to come in this game, they have to rise to our level. They have to start talking about ideas. They have to start talking about plans and policies for you. We are not in this gossip, criticism thing and personalities thing. This is not us. And the truth is, you cannot blame us for being the better party. We have done the work. We go out there and meet you. We listen to you. We hear your cries. And then we plan and we put policies in place to uplift you. It's not an easy road being a PAL rep. Don't ever think this is an easy job. Most of us have left our professional comfort zones to come into public office because we had a deeper sense of purpose. We were not coming here looking for jobs. We were like big fishes in small ponds, and we needed the national level for us to come and show our sense of purpose and our love for you, the people of Dominica. That is why, this is why we're in this, and this is why we're the better party. Look at the sort of candidates we have here. All candidates, not just educated, but knowledgeable candidates. Candidates who have that sense of public concern. Candidates who've come to make things better. It's nothing to do with personality and personal gain. It's all about you, the people of Dominica. That is why we are the better party, because we put you first at every single moment. And let alone, there are so many examples, but a nice typical example of the sort of love this government had for its people was how we treated our people during the times of COVID. It was with love. We made sure that everybody was taken care of. And everything was done free of charge for you, the people of Dominica. That wasn't done in many places of the world. Not at all. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. I'll remind you, when we tested you positive, we'd come and collect you, we'd bring you to the hospital, which we set up in 1 week. These governments set up a hospital in Portsmouth in 1 week. A hospital that had a greater occupancy than the Princess Margaret Hospital. And when we took care of you, and then we gave medicine free, we dropped you at your home free. Everything was done free of charge for you. That is the love and the care this Labour Party government showed for you in hard times. Now, and we can go much further and further, but I know time is limited. You also have to look at the bigger plans and policies this government have in place. Because let alone health, there's what you call the social determinants as health. So it's not just a matter of building health centers and hospitals and all of that. They all work together. So that is why we have the housing revolution, and that is part of developing us, because these are the social determinants of health. When we have 98% pipe-borne water in our homes, all these are the social determinants of health. When we have the early childhood education, and when we also have the universal secondary education, and the Free State College, and the scholarship study abroad, developing people from health, from education, from housing, it's a complete, comprehensive development of you, the people of Dominica. And you have to recognize this. So they shouldn't blame us when I say we are the better party, because you know we are the better party. And now this comes at a very interesting time, a very significant time in our development. We've gone, well, not we, but the entire world went through COVID-19. COVID-19 has put brakes on every country in the world. And even in spite of this, we were still opening health centers and hospitals and resource centers and housing projects. In spite of all of this. And here comes, COVID is cooled off. Then you have the demand going up, prices going up. We have the war in Ukraine. We have the oil prices. These are terrible and crucial times for any country. But yet, we have not stopped any of our capital projects. They still continue to go on for you, the people of Dominica. And like a government, even you in your homes, you have to press the reset button because COVID changed everything. The entire world looks at things differently since COVID. You saw the bigger countries crumble under COVID. And here we are, a small developing island state. If you ask me, I think you did very, very well. Not just the Ministry of Health and the government, but even you, the people of Dominica, your cooperation with us, that is why we are doing that well. So this is a very important time. The reset button has been pressed, and then we also had new blood. And not just new blood, but knowledgeable blood. We have 10 new candidates. These are the caliber of people the Dominica Labour Party attracts. The other side cannot attract people like this. And why do these people join the Dominica Labour Party? Because that's the only serious party in Dominica looking after the people of Dominica. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. So tomorrow's election is really not about personalities and parties, etc., and colors. This is serious business. This is Dominica we're voting for tomorrow. You all hear, this is the choir, and I'm singing to the choir. But those listening at home, we have to put our little petty differences aside. Put these colors and put these parties aside. Let us recognize what we are voting for. We are voting for the future of this country. We are voting for all our programs to continue. Because Labour touches everyone, as I said, from the cradle to the grave. All these programs in place. So this is what we are voting for tomorrow. So those at home, please don't say that Labour has won already. You have to go there, exercise your democratic right, and select the best party for the job. It happens that the Dominica Labour Party is still the party of choice. And even if sometimes we take medication, it may taste bitter, but we know the bigger picture. We know it's going to be better and it's going to cure us. So for those of you at home might figure, well, I'm not a Labourite. This has nothing to do with Labour and workers. This has something to do with the right thing. This has something to expressing your democratic right. This has something to play in part and legitimize your concerns. So later on, when you have your concerns and your complaints, you can say, yes, I took part in the election, so I can voice my opinion. Is that correct, Luke? That is correct. So, my student here agrees with me. Very well. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you here, it's my pleasure to address you tonight. But when you all go home, you have a job to do. You have to go to all your neighbors, your friends, your family. You have to encourage them and make sure you bring them to vote tomorrow. This is a very important election. This is the reset election. This is the election after COVID and after the Ukraine war. That is how we'll remember this election. And you have to be counted in the history of this election. So everybody tomorrow, Labour! Labour! Thank you very much. Thank you.